gin, Edith?
Yes, sir.
Vermouth?
Yes, sir.
Brandy?
Yes, sir.
Well, now go and get the ice.
Yes, sir.
Not get the run, Edith.
Yes, sir. Charles, you promised to stop an hour ago. You're still not changed, and the Bradmans are about to descend on us.
How do you spell exorcism?
Spell it? I don't even know what it means.
It's a ceremony to banish evil spirits.
That's nice, dear. Look it up.
I'll look it up tomorrow. I want to finish this paragraph. I'm almost up to the seance bit.
That's marvelous, darling. The Unseen. I must say that is a wonderful title, even if I didn't suggest it to you. When serving dinner, Edith, try to remember to do it calmly and methodically. Yes, ma'am. She's hopeless.
Old habits die hard. The poor child was trained by Elvira, and Elvira dearly loved people to hop to it when she gave an order.
Did Elvira help you with your books, too?
Every now and then, when she concentrated. But she didn't concentrate very often.
Does it still hurt when you think of that?
No, not really. Sometimes I wish it did. I feel rather guilty.
I wonder if I died before you grow tired of me, if you'd forget me so soon.
What a horrible thing to say. I haven't forgotten Elvira. I remember her very distinctly indeed. I remember her gay charm when she had achieved her own way with something, and her extreme acidity when she hadn't. I remember her physical attractiveness, which was tremendous, and her spiritual integrity, which was nil.
God, never something that was nil.
Oh, no, I love you, my love.
Poor Elvira.
Yes, she certainly had a great talent for living. It was a pity that she died so young.
Poor Elvira.
That remark is becoming monotonous. I was devoted to Elvira. We were married for 5 years. She died. I missed her very much. That was 7 years ago. I have now, with your help, my love, risen above the whole thing. How the hell do you spell exorcism? Never mind. Oh, here, you better take this. I'll drink it.
Was she cleverer than I? Wittier than I? Walking down the street to meet you. Was she prettier than I? Wonder why I never tried, just asking unless I was too afraid that you would have to confess. She was cleverer than I, wittier than I, and I might as well accept it. She was prettier than I, maybe so, but this I know, I'll show you by and by. She never could have loved you She's probably on one knee in pre-sprinting position, waiting for Cook to open up the kitchen door.
Steady, Edith.
Yes, sir. I have a feeling this evening's going to be awful. It's probably just as well that Madame Arcady couldn't join us till after dinner. You must promise not to catch my eye. If I giggle, and I'm very likely to, it will ruin everything.
Well, you mustn't giggle. Not at a seance. We can't hurt the old gal's feelings.
Well, what about the Bradmans, darling? They're just as skeptical as we are.
Oh, I've warned them.
Good. Don't hurt me, Bradman!
We only got back from the hospital about half an hour ago.
No problem. Dry martini?
No, by all means.
Well, tonight's the night. I've been looking forward to it. I feel really quite excited.
I guarantee that Violet will be good. I made a promise.
There wasn't any need. I'm absolutely thrilled. I've only seen Madame Arcady 2 or 3 times at her coffee house. She was surrounded by some rather peculiar young people, but I have never seen her do anything at all peculiar. If you know what I mean.
She knows that we want a seance tonight, doesn't she? You're not going to spring it on her.
Well, of course, it was all arranged last week. What exactly are you hoping to get from her?
Oh, jargon, principally. A few tricks of the trade. I haven't been to a seance for years, and I want to refresh my memory.
This sort of thing is not entirely new to you.
Oh, no. When I was a little boy, an aunt of mine used to come and stay with us. She used to believe that she was a medium and used to go off into the most elaborate trances after dinner. My mother was fascinated by it.
Were there ever any tangible results?
Oh, sometimes she didn't do too badly.
Yes, yes.
On one occasion, we were all sitting around in the pitch dark with my mother groping her way through Claire de Lune at the piano, when my aunt suddenly gave out with a shrill scream and said that she saw a small black dog by my chair. Then somebody switched on the lights, and sure enough, that it was. It was obviously a stray that had wandered in off the street. Mother was shaken by it.
What happened to it?
It lived with us for years.
Wouldn't it be lovely if Madame Arcady materialized? A sweet little puppy. Only if it's housebroken. Dinner is served, Mum. Come on, Violet, we really must hurry. Madame Arcady is due at 9.
She's probably pedaling up the hill to
down with your head, and up with your heart, and you're over the top in a flash, and skip to the side like a dragonfly. This is the best brandy I've had in years.
Will you have another?
Why not?
I'm terribly excited.
Please do me. It makes everything much, much more difficult. And of course, I cannot guarantee that anything will happen. Daphne may be unavailable.
Daphne?
My control. Some mediums prefer swamis, of course, but personally, I've always found them very unreliable. Children are undoubtedly more satisfactory. Daphne has wanted me for years. Bum her.
Madam Arcadi, the time is drawing near.
Who knows? It may be receding.
You must forgive us for being impatient. We can perfectly easily wait, though, if you're not quite ready to start.
Nonsense, my dear. I'm absolutely ready. Hey ho, it's off to work we go. A few deep, deep breaths of fresh air. You may talk if you wish. It will not disturb me in the least.
Come on, everyone, let's sit down.
That cuckoo is very angry.
I beg your pardon.
I said that cuckoo is very angry, isn't it?
How can you tell?
Stamping his feet. Good night, you foolish bird.
We thought this table would do.
Oh, beautifully, the vibrations are excellent.
You told Edith we didn't want to be disturbed.
Yes, dear.
Are you ready?
This is a moment I always hate.
Are you nervous?
Yes. When I was a girl, I always used to throw up.
How fortunate that you grew out of it.
Little Tommy Tucker sings for his supper. What shall he have but rum, bread, and butter? I despise that, because it doesn't rhyme at all. But Daphne loves it.
How old is Daphne?
Pushing 7 when she died.
When was that?
February the 7th, 1884.
Well, she must be a bit long in the tooth by now, I should think.
You should think, Dr. Bradman, but I fear you didn't. At least not profoundly enough. Time values on the other side are utterly different from ours.
Do be quiet, George, dear. You put my coffee off if you're a skeptic.
Don't worry, my dear. I am quite used to skeptics. Now, will you all place your hands downward upon the table, please?
Would you like me to turn the lights out?
All in good time, Mr. Gunnerman. Sit down, please. The fingers should be touching.
It might be old Mrs. Plummet, you know. She died on Whit one day.
I don't see why old Mrs. Plummet would want to communicate with us. We have very little in common.
Well, it's worth trying anyhow.
Are you old Mrs. Plummet?
She was very deaf. Perhaps you'd better shout.
Are you old Mrs. Plummet? No, but there's no one there at all now.
How disappointing. Just as we were getting on so nicely.
Oh, Violet, do be quiet.
Oh, here we go. Let's find out who they're trying to reach. Is that you, Daphne? Is your cold better, dear? Oh, sorry. Is there anyone there who wishes to speak to anyone here? Is it Mrs. Brandon? Is it Dr. Brandon? Is it Mrs. Condomine? Daphne, behave yourself. Is it Mr. Condomine? There's someone who wishes to speak to you, Mr. Condomine.
Tell them to leave a message. Oh, my God!
We should pick her up and leave her where she is.
Oh, how the hell should I know?
There's no need to snuggle it. Leave her where she is.
Who said that?
Who said what?
Well, someone just said leave her where she is.
Nonsense, dear.
It was you, Ruth. You're playing tricks.
I haven't uttered. Good evening, Charles.
Ventriloquism. That's what it is, ventriloquism.
What is the matter with you?
You must have heard that. One of you must have heard that.
Heard what?
You mean to sit there solemnly and say that none of you heard anything at all?
It's difficult to think of what to say after 7 years. But I suppose good evening is as good as anything else.
Who are you?
Look here, of course. Don't be silly.
Oh, I can't bear this another minute. Everybody get up. The entertainment is over.
Oh, dear. Madam Arthur, she's unconscious.
Bring her around as soon as possible.
Oh, she's out, all right.
Oh, bring her around. It's dangerous to leave her like that. Wake up, Madam Arthur.
Go easy.
Oh, time to go home. Get her some brandy. We'll give her some brandy. Wake up, Madam Arthur. Help me out to the couch.
I'm helping.
Tommy, touch her, Madam Arthur. Listen, Tommy. Wake up.
Goodness, what happened? Was it satisfactory?
Nothing much happened, Madam Arthur, after you went off.
Something happened, all right. I can feel it. Well, no poltergeist at any rate. They throw things, you know.
No, I didn't know.
Any apparitions?
No, nothing at all.
No, ectoplasm, eh? It's very curious. I do hope we haven't gone and released something. Oh, however, we're bound to find out within a day or two if any manifestation should occur or you hear any unexplained noises. You might let me know at once.
Of course we will. Telephone immediately.
Well, I guess I really must be on my way now. I'm so sorry so little occurred. It's that code of Daphne's, I expect. You know what children are when they have anything the matter with them.
Oh, it was thrilling, really it was.
I felt the table absolutely shaking under my hands. It was nothing, really. Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Madam Marcotte.
Good night, everyone. And next time, we must really put our backs into it.
Madam Arthur, please. Madam Arthur.
Dear
morning. My God! Elvira, then it's true, it was you!
Of course it was. Charles, what are you looking over there for? Look at me. What happened?
Well, don't you see?
See what?
Elvira!
Elvira?
Yes, Elvira, this is Ruth. Ruth, this is Elvira.
Come and sit down, darling.
Do you mean to say that you can't see her?
If this is a joke here, it's gone quite far enough. You sit down, for heaven's sake, and don't be idiotic.
What am I to do? What the devil am I to do?
Well, I think you might at least be a little more pleased to see me. After all, you conjured me up.
I did no such thing.
Nonsense, of course you did. Didn't you shout at Golding and told me that you wanted to see me urgently?
Oh, well, it was all a mistake, a horrible mistake.
Charles, stop talking like that.
I've gone mad, that's what it is. I've just gone raving mad.
Here, drink this.
Oh, this is appalling.
Relax.
Yes, I relax. I shall be a relaxing game as long as I live.
Drink some brandy.
There! Now, are you satisfied?
Now sit down. You can't relax standing up.
African natives can. They can stand on one leg for hours.
I don't happen to be an African native.
You don't happen to be a what?
An African native!
What?
It doesn't matter, Ruth. Really, it doesn't matter. We'll say no more about it. See, I sat down.
Will you like some more brandy?
Yes, please.
Very unwise. You never could drink.
I could drink you under the table.
There's no need to be aggressive, Charles.
Well, I'm sorry.
Here, drink this. Then we'll go up to bed.
Send you to bed alone, Charles, and then we can talk in peace.
Well, that's a thoroughly immoral suggestion. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Is there immoral in that?
I wasn't talking to you.
Then who were you talking to?
Elvira, of course.
To hell with Elvira.
Elvira is here, Ruth. She happens to be standing a few feet from me. Oh, yes. Ah!
I refuse to stand here arguing any longer.
If she only meant it.
Shut up!
How dare you speak to me like that? I will not put up with any more of this nonsense. I'm going up to bed, but I shan't sleep. I'm too upset. So you can come up and say good night to me if you feel like it.
Oh, that's big of her, I must say.
Oh, be quiet. You're behaving like a duchess snipe.
That is all I have to say. Good night, Charles.
Rose!
Oh,
This is obviously some sort of hallucination, isn't it?
I'm afraid I don't know the technical term for it.
Oh, try to understand my situation, dear. I've been married to Ruth for 5 years. You've been dead for 7.
Not dead, Charles. Passed over. It's considered vulgar to say dead where I come from.
Passed over, then?
At any rate, now that I'm here, the least you could do is make a pretense of being amiable about it.
Well, of course, my dear. I'm delighted, in one way.
I don't believe you love me anymore.
I shall always love the memory of you.
I really am a little hurt. You called me back at a great inconvenience I come, and then you're fairly churlish.
Oh, please believe me, I most emphatically did not call you back. There's been some mistake.
Well, someone did, and that child said it was you.
Oh, Elvira.
Perhaps it was your subconscious. What is it, darling?
I do feel strange seeing you again.
That's better.
What's better?
Your voice is kinder.
Was I ever unkind to you when you were alive?
Awful.
Oh, how can you? I'm sure that's an exaggeration.
Not at all. You were an absolute pig that time we went to Cornwall and stayed in that awful hotel. You hit me with a billiard cue.
Only very, very gently.
I loved you very much.
I love you too.
You called me back with a silent plea from another time, another place, another me. You called me back, and I found my way to a half-remembered, half-forgotten
coffee. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Edith.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, darling.
Good morning, Charles.
A perfectly good morning. There's not a cloud in the sky, and everything seems newly-washed. I intend to work all day.
I'm sure I'm very glad to hear it.
Anything interesting in the Times?
Don't be silly, Charles.
You're very glacial this morning.
Are you surprised? You behaved abominably last night. You wounded me and insulted me.
I was the victim of an aberration.
You were the victim of alcohol. You called me a gutter snipe. You told me to shut up. And when I asked you to come up to bed, you said to me, with the most disgusting leer, that it was an immoral suggestion.
Something very peculiar happened to me last night. I swear to you that during the seance, I was convinced that I heard Elvira's voice.
No one else did.
And later on, I was equally convinced that she was in that room. I saw her distinctly and talked to her. After you'd gone to bed, we had quite a cozy little chat.
And you seriously expect me to believe that you were not drunk?
I haven't got the trace of a headache, and my tongue's not twisted. Look at it.
I'm at least desire to look at your tongue kindly for it again.
You're jealous. Your whole being is devoured with jealousy.
This is too much.
Women. When I think of women,
Your view of women is academic, to say the least. Just because you've always been dominated by them, it does not follow that you would know anything about them.
the only woman in my life who has ever attempted to dominate me is you. You've been at it for years.
That was completely untrue.
No, it is not. You boss me and bully me and order me about. You won't even allow me to enjoy an hallucination when I want to. Who's this wench in my hair? Who's this lass with the deadly air? The shrew I see is strange to me. She called me the girl I married. She was sweet. She was swell. But now heaven has turned to hell. She's hard as nails and on the rail. Where is the girl I married?
He was tweedy, now he's seedy.
Sugar.
He looks so hopeless, helpless, and harried. I wonder what became of the man I married. He was darling, now he's snarling. I love him so and over the threshold I was carried. But where is the man I married? He was
Full of wrath. What a temper this lady has. It's pleased to see she'll embarrass me till I go falling. What a dare, what a bore. She was never so fierce before. She rails and rants and wears the fence. Where is the girl I married?
There's danger, my husband's a stranger.
What? Why? Is the girl I
Charles, alcohol will ruin your whole life if you allow it to get a hold on you, you know.
I was not drunk.
Drink me to clear the table, ma'am.
Yes, he did.
Cook would like to know about lunch, ma'am.
Will you be into lunch, Charles?
Please don't worry about me. I shall be perfectly happy with a bottle of gin in my bedroom.
Tell Cook we shall both be in.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, Ruth, be reasonable. I was not pretending. I really did believe that I saw Elvira. I had the shock of my life. That's why I dropped the glass.
Then there's obviously something wrong with you.
Exactly.
What did you have for lunch yesterday?
You ought to know. You had it with me.
Let me see. There was lemon sole and that cheese thing.
I don't see why having a cheese thing for lunch should make me see my deceased wife after dinner.
You never know. It was rather rich.
Why didn't you see your dead husband then? You'd had just as much of it as I did.
This isn't getting us anywhere at all.
Oh, no, it isn't, and it won't as long as you insist on ascribing supernatural phenomena to colonic irritation.
Perhaps you want to see a psychiatrist.
I refuse to endure months of extensive humiliation, only to be told at the end of it that at the age of 4, I was in love with my rocking horse.
But how do you feel now? You're not seeing or hearing anything in the least unusual?
Not at all.
She's absolutely ruined that border by the sundial. It looks like a mixed salad.
Oh. Oh! Oh!
What's the matter with you?
Well, Elevator's hit again.
Pull yourself together and don't be absurd.
Oh, I tell you, she's hit again.
You two have been having a nice scene, haven't you? I can tell.
Please mind your own business.
If you behaving like a lunatic isn't my business, nothing is.
I expect it was about me, wasn't it? I'm delighted.
How can you be so inconsiderate?
Inconsiderate? I like that, I must say.
Well, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Elvira.
Then go on talking to her, but don't talk to me.
Help me, Elvira.
How?
Make her see you or something.
Oh, I'm afraid I couldn't manage that. It's frightfully complicated, you know. It takes years of study.
You are here, aren't you? You're not an illusion.
I might be an illusion, but I'm most definitely here.
Charles,
Yes, dear.
I'm awfully sorry I was cross. I understand everything now, really, I do.
You do?
Of course I do.
Look out, she's up to something.
Will you please be quiet?
Of course, darling. We'll all be quiet, won't we? We'll be as quiet as little mice.
Ruth, dear, now
I
listen.
want you to come upstairs with me and go to bed.
Where that woman hops on bed is nothing short of erotic.
What are you up to?
What do you think, dear? I just want you to come upstairs with me and wait there till Dr. Bradford comes.
She'll have you in a straitjacket before you know it.
Well, help me. Please, help me.
I would with pleasure, but I can't think how.
I can't. Listen, Rue. You see that bowl of flowers on the table? Elvira will now carry that bowl of flowers to the house and back again. You will, Elvira, won't you? Just to please me.
I don't see why I should. You've been quite insufferable to me ever since I materialized.
Please.
Oh, all right. Just this once. Not that I approve of cheap magic.
All right. Ruth, now watch carefully.
Very well, dear.
Go on, Elvira. Carry it to the house and back again.
How dare you, Charles? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, what on earth for?
It's a trick. I know perfectly well it's a trick. You've been working up to this. It's all part of some horrible plot.
Well, it isn't. I swear it. Elvira, do something else, for God's sake.
Anything to oblige.
You want to get rid of me. You're trying to drive me out of my mind.
Don't be silly.
You are cruel and sadistic, and I shall never forgive you. I will not put up with any more of this
But you
nonsense.
must believe it. You must.
Let me go.
But it was Elvira. I swear it
Let
was.
me go. This is madness. It's sheer madness. It's some sort of auto-suggestion, isn't it? Some form of hypnotism. Swear to me it's only that. Swear to me it's only that.
myself.
Be positive, children. Tell Rupert our golden rule.
If you want to reach the highest goal, let the spirits take control.
Splendid. Now tell this poor benighted child the way we let the spirits help us.
Every time you get the chance, throw yourself into a trance.
I'll try, Madam Arcady.
Good show. You need no drinks. You need no smokes. You need no aspirin in your coats. Revenge a dream in your enormously cunning, you know. They sometimes lie, doggo, for days.
You know my husband was married before. His first wife, Elvira, died comparatively young.
Where?
In the house. In that very room.
I'm beginning to see daylight.
She was convalescing after pneumonia, and one evening began to laugh helplessly at a BBC production of Henry V and died of
The other evening after I had gone,
not to me, but to my husband. Nevertheless, I would like to point out that it has made my position in that house untenable, and I hold you entirely responsible.
Forgive me, Mrs. Condamine. I am being abominably selfish. How can I help you?
How? By sending her back immediately to where she came from, of course.
I'm afraid that is easier said than done. When did she pass over?
7 years ago.
Aha! 7 years. That means she must have been on the waiting list. We must have marked herself down for return visit. And she never had been able to manage it unless there was a strong influence at work.
You mean that Charles, my husband, wanted her back all that much?
Possibly, or it might have been her own determination.
Whatever it was, Madame McCarthy, I must beg of you to do your utmost to dematerialize her as soon as possible.
Well, frankly, Mrs. Condamine, I have the faintest idea how to go about it.
This is outrageous. Do you realize what your insane amateur muddling has done?
I was in a trance. Anything might happen, but I am in a trance.
Well, all I can suggest is that you go into another one immediately and get this woman out of my house. You'll have to do something.
I shall report the whole matter to the Society for Psychical Research at the earliest possible moment.
Will they be able to do anything?
I doubt it. They've been very slipshod lately.
It's too humiliating, it really is. I ought to hand you over to the police. You are entirely to blame for this whole horrible situation.
Kindly remember that I came there the other night at your own invitation.
At my husband's invitation.
Your husband was obviously eager to get in touch with his former wife.
He had no such intention. The whole thing was planned in order for him to get material for a mystery story he's writing about a homicidal medium.
I to understand that I was only invited in a spirit of mockery?
Not at all. He merely wanted to make notes of some tricks of the trade.
Tricks of the trade! Insufferable! I have never been so insulted in my life. I feel we have nothing further to say to one another, Mrs. Conway. Goodbye.
Please, you don't understand.
Your attitude from the outset has been most unpleasant, Mrs. Condamine. Some of your remarks have been discourteous in the extreme. And I should like to say, without umbrage, that if you and your husband were foolish enough to tamper with the unseen for paltry motives, and in the spirit of ribaldry, whatever has happened to you is your own fault, and to coin a phrase, as far as I am concerned, you can stew in your own juice.
Down! 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 What a pity! What a whack! Now she can't send Elvira back, but I'll show her yet that cheap soubrette will never get the man I married.
Listen. What about that, Ed?
What about what, Ed?
The song.
It's very pretty.
Remember it.
Should I?
You played that record 50 times without stopping on our wedding night.
Charles, and you've kept it all these years, you sentimental darling. Yeah, of course I remember it. It's all coming back to me.
It is.
No, it is. All will always be spring to me when you gently cling to me.
And you'll see the love we'll give through the years will grow and live through the years forever and
Charles,
For God's sake, Ruth, don't sneak up on me like that. Where on earth have you been anyway?
I've been to see Madame McCarthy.
You never told me you were going to see her.
You never told me you were going to ask Elvira to live with us.
Why did you go to see her?
To get me exorcised, of course.
Is that true, Ruth?
Is what true?
What Elvira said.
You know perfectly well I can't hear what Elvira said.
She said that you went to see Madame McCarthy to get her exorcised. Is that true?
We discussed the possibilities. This situation is absolutely impossible and you know it.
Well, if only you'd try to make an effort to be a little more friendly to Elvira, we might all have one jolly time.
I have no wish to have a jolly time with Elvira. Where is she at the moment?
In the chair at the table.
Now look here, Elvira. I wish to be absolutely honest with you. I admit that I went to see Madame McCarthy with a view to getting you exorcised. And I think in my position, you would have done exactly the same thing.
I wouldn't have done it so obviously.
What did she say?
Nothing. Just nothing. Smile.
Thank you, Elvira. Now, before we go any further, I must ask a frank question. Why did you really come here?
I came because the power of Charles' love tugged and tugged and tugged. Did it, my sweet?
What did she say?
She said that she came because she wanted to see me again.
Well, she's done that now, hasn't she?
Charles, did the old vampire have any constructive ideas about getting rid of me?
What did Madame McCarthy say?
She said she couldn't do a thing.
No pity.
Don't be upset, Ruth, dear. You must admit this is a unique experience.
You must be out of your mind.
No, she's off again.
Don't be careless, Elvira.
I suppose she said something insulting. Now look here, Elvira.
She's over on the sofa now.
Why the hell can't she stay in the same place?
Oh, temper, my poor Charles. What a terrible life you must lead.
Do shut up, darling. You'll only make everything worse.
Who was that darling addressed to? Her or me?
Both of them.
This is intolerable!
For heaven's sake, don't get into another state.
I've been doing my level best to control myself ever since yesterday morning. It's been unrighted and I'm not going to do it anymore! I don't like Elvira any more than she likes me. And what's more, I'm certain I never could have, dead or alive. Thank you. The first thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to have an interview with the Psychical Research Society. And if they fail me, I shall go straight to the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Let it go. Have another drink.
What does that like her to behave like this? She's generally so equable.
No, she isn't. Not really. Her mouth gives her away. It's a hard mouth, Charles.
I resent your discussing Ruth as though she were a horse. I'm going up to talk to her.
Coward.
Don't be idiotic. I can't go like that. I must be a little nice and sympathetic to her.
I don't see why she's so set on being disagreeable. Besides, you should be changing. You did promise to take me out tonight.
You're incorrigibly selfish.
Well, I haven't been out in this world for 7 years. I can't wait to stroll through Regent's Park and then have supper at the Grove, Chester, just like we used to do.
Yes, well, I shan't be long. While I'm upstairs, you can play the gramophone or read a magazine, whatever you like.
Thank you, darling.
The leaves will float on the breeze will float on the sea forever and a day. The moon will glow in the sky will glow in your eyes forever and
What on earth was that?
Anything over there of reason, drop the tray.
Naturally. Won't be a minute.
I've been waiting 7 years, Charles, for you to get ready. Something tells me tonight is the night. Something tells me we'll take a fantastic flight out of time, out of space. Close together we'll race to a place full of heavenly bliss. Something tells me the moment is due to recapture the rapture that once we knew. But it can't happen here, for it's clear that I merely feel there when we're sharing a kiss. Live with me now, stay away from the clamoring cloud. Come
Green.
That's because they're shining with love for you.
It's the long way down.
Yes, it is.
All right, Elvira. What do you want?
What? Whatever do you mean?
I seem to remember that whenever you were this overpoweringly demure, it usually meant that you wanted something.
Nonsense!
I know your eyes by heart. That look of half surprise, so innocent, so wise. I know your eyes by heart. I know your smile by heart. And when it's this naive, there's something up your sleeve. I know your smile by heart. You're neat, you're live, you're delightfully blind. This brings me full of grace. So neat, so deceitfully sweet. Is every feature of your face. Then what's more, I know your heart by heart. It's light as a feather, tougher than leather. So I'll keep on wondering whether we should be together for the heart I'm drawn to you, but I'm on to you. I know your heart by that cheating heart by. I know your heart by heart. I know your eyes by heart.
Just follow me, my dear. My dear, watch me then walk.
I know your eyes by heart.
Don't think, just follow me and drink and follow me.
I know your smile by heart.
Not so bad, it's not
And when you say there's something up your sleeve, I know your smile by heart.
Don't worry, just follow me. Hurry, 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 and follow me.
You're neat,
Let's take
you're
a
live,
ride.
delightfully blind,
Let's fly
disgracefully full of grace.
above the wilderness song.
So neat,
Let's float,
so neat,
let's fly
so deceitfully sweet.
so high in the sky.
Every feature of your face. I know your smile by heart.
I double dig.
It's like that feather, tougher than leather. So much for wondering whether. I know your heart by that cheating heart by. I know your heart by.
Don't think, just hurry, have another drink and follow me. I wish you'd be more careful, Charles. I nearly spilled your drink.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you going to stay here indefinitely or not?
I don't know why. Would you hate it so much if I was?
Oh, you must admit it would be embarrassing.
I don't see why, really. It's all a question of adjusting yourself.
Well, you must find out if you're going to stay here indefinitely or not. Then we can make arrangements accordingly.
I don't see how I can.
Now try and think. Isn't there anyone you know that you could contact over there? There. On the other side, or whatever you call it, who could advise you?
It seems so far away, as though I dreamed it. But what a lovely dream it was.
Is it called being a ghost?
No, I don't think so.
Is it fun being a ghost?
You're adorable. You silly human beings try to speed a traveler's pace with super jets and rocket ships and probes throughout your space. While here upon the other side we laugh at all your probes. For here we only have to think to whiz around the globe. So close your eyes and concentrate with me and see what fun a fantastic voyage can be. Lunch in London or day Paris to Singapore in time for tea.
in Nome, an athlete in Athens, a movie star in Rome, a comrade in Moscow, a lash in Bombay, in Israel, a Yingo, and a dude in Santa Fe, and it's nothing to do. There's a people everywhere I go. Off to Cairo and more people to
should she want to kill me? I could understand her wanting to kill you. But why me?
If you were dead, it would be her final triumph over me. She'd have you with her forever on her blasted astral plane. She's probably planning a spiritual remarriage. I wouldn't put anything past her.
Well, Ruth, what are we to do?
Well, not to let her know that we suspect a thing. Behave as though nothing has happened. I'm going to see Madame Arcadi immediately. She's got to help us. Even if she can't get rid of Elvira, she must know of some method of rendering her harmless. Now remember, don't give yourself away by so much as the flick of an eyelid. I'll be back in an hour.
Ruth, I must say that you've behaved beautifully throughout all this.
Thank you, Charles. That's the first sweet thing you've said to me since that beastly seance.
Really? Well, I'm sorry, Ruth. I'll do better.
Not better, Charles. As you were. Say 5 years ago. Begin all over again.
Well, how does one begin all over again?
You used to send me flowers. You used to telephone me in the middle of the night. I used to come home, find poems under my pillow.
As a matter of fact, that's how I proposed to you, isn't it?
Yes, I know.
Well, how did that verse start?
If I
If I gave
gave
you
fields
of clover, beds of flowers, pink and blue, crowns of laurel, walls of ivory, would you let me walk with you? If I gave you brides of lions, teams of horses, 2 by 2, and a school of flying fishes, would you let me dance with you? A basket of cherries, a basket of roses, a shower of stars for your But I have no brides of lions, and my pearls, alas, are few. But for words of loving heartbeats, would you let me stay
If you gave me rings of diamonds, silver buckles for my shoes, gowns of velvet boss. What's Mr. Condomine's number meeting?
Hello.
Oh, Mr. Condomine, Madam Arcati here. I hope you will not consider my bringing you an intrusion.
Oh, not at all.
I had to speak to you. I felt a tremendous urge, like a rushing wind.
It was very kind of you.
No, not kind at all. It was my duty.
Duty?
I reproach myself bitterly, you know. In a moment of crisis, I threw up the sponge instead of throwing down the gauntlet.
Whatever you threw, Madam Arcati, it certainly landed with considerable impact.
True. But I've been thinking very carefully. I gather that you cannot be overheard.
Well, my first wife is not in the room at the moment. She's upstairs lying down. The funeral exhausted her. My second wife, I imagine, is by her side, but I have no way of knowing for certain.
Have you noticed any change in the texture of your first wife since the accident?
No, she seems much as usual. Perhaps a trifle low-spirited, but that's all.
Well, that waters that out.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Just a little theory I had. In the 19th century, there was a pretty widespread belief that a ghost who had participated in the death of a human being disintegrated automatically.
How do you know that Elvira was in any way responsible for Ruth's death?
Elvira, that's such a pretty name. What did it lead to it? Elvira? I just met a ghost.
Madam Arcati, you haven't answered my question. How did you know?
My Ouija board.
I'd be very much obliged if you and your Ouija board would keep your theories to yourself, Madam Arcati. Well, in any case, I'm afraid there's nothing whatever to be done.
Oh, there is. I have a formula. Now, you are still anxious to dematerialize your first wife, aren't you?
Well, of course. I'm perfectly furious with her. Well, Ruth, my second wife, has hardly left her side for a moment. You must see that she's been having a pretty bad time with these last few days.
Your delicacy of feeling does you credit. But this formula will be able to get rid of her without hurting her feelings in the least. It's extremely simple. I might even be able to manage it without lying down.
Charles?
Madam Arcati, I'm so sorry. My first wife, is rather upset at the moment. May I ring you back?
Oh, of course, Mr. Coleman. I'm at your disposal any hour of the day or night.
Oh, that's most generous of you. Goodbye, Madam Arcati. Goodbye.
She's the one who got me here in the first place, isn't she?
Yes?
Do you think she could get me back again? The whole thing's been a failure. A miserable, dreary failure. And what high hopes I started out with.
You can't expect much sympathy from me, you know. I'm perfectly well aware that your highest hope was to murder me. Your behavior has shocked me immeasurably. I had no idea you could be so unscrupulous.
Oh, Charles!
Stop crying.
They're only ghost tears. They're very painful.
You brought all this on yourself, you know.
It's only because I loved you. The silliest thing I ever did in my whole life was to love you. You were never worthy of me.
That comes perilously near impertinence, Elvira.
I just sat there on the other side, longing for you, day after day. I did, really. That's why I put myself down for a return visit, and had to fill in all those forms and wait about drafty passages for hours. If only you had died before you had met Ruth, everything might have been all right. She's absolutely ruined you. Your books aren't nearly as good as they used to be either.
Ruth has helped me and encouraged me with my work, which is a damn sight more than you ever did.
That's probably what's wrong with it.
All you ever wanted to do was go to parties and enjoy yourself.
Well, why shouldn't I have fun? I died young, didn't I?
You needn't have died at all if you hadn't gone out on the river with Guy Henderson and got soaked to the skin.
Ah, we're back to Guy Henderson again, are we?
You behaved abominably over Guy Henderson, and don't pretend that you didn't.
I would rather not discuss it if you don't mind.
You let him kiss you, didn't you?
But how could I stop him? He was bigger than
swore to me that you went to see our aunt in Exmouth.
Who's the Morse?
With Captain Braithgirdle.
With Captain Bracegirdle.
Oh, I might have known. Did he make love to you?
Well, of course, but only very discreetly. He was in the cavalry, you know.
Well, all I can say is that I am well rid of you.
I'm afraid you're not.
Oh, yes, I am. You're dead. Ruth's dead. I shall sell the house, lock, stock, and barrel, and go away.
I shall follow you. You called me back.
I did not call you back.
You were talking about me before dinner that evening.
I just might as easily have been talking about Lucretia Borgia, but that wouldn't necessarily mean that I wanted her to come and live with me.
As a matter of fact, she's rather funny.
You stick to the point.
The point is that I want to get as far away from you and Ruth as soon as possible. I can't stand this house another minute. Oh, they don't back up again and set it to work. I won't tolerate it any longer. I want to go home. Home! Home! It's very simple. No way to write. But we have stereo and merry open fire. Caruso sings there. Salary swings there in my home sweet heaven. My house is modest. It's my need. And I'm a feeling that the feeling's actually need. The brothers Adam, look on me, madam, in my home sweet heaven. We all sit rocking on this table, Freud and Cain and Gable, Barnum and Bailey, Oscar Wilde and me. And it's such fun when Julius Caesar, Proust and Saint Teresa, dropping for a cup of tea. Just Rayleigh's darling, and Thomas Hardy, and Joan of Arc's the tycoon, sparks the dullest party. Where's Spencer Battle? With Aristotle in my home sweet heaven. The king of Russia, I call him Freddie. He's living by mistake with Mary Baker Eddy. And very simple, I built a temple in my home sweet heaven. There's Dr. Griffin,
needs are all untangled. My heart is in a spasm. I'm finally going to entertain a genuine external. Something is coming to me. I'll come. Something is coming to me. Put on the skillet. Put on the lead. Man's going to bake a little psychic bread. She's here! She's really here! Interesting. Very interesting. I smell ectoplasm strongly.
Interesting thing to say.
Where is he now?
Well, here, close to me.
Are you happy, my dear?
Tell the silly old bat to mind your own business.
Was the journey difficult? Are you weary?
She's crazy.
She says that she's feeling rather strong at the moment.
I almost have contact. I can sense the vibration. Not that this is magnificent.
How's that?
Oh, darling. You little darling. Oh, this is first rate. This is absolutely splendid.
Dear, Madame Marcotte, if you don't mind, maybe we could begin.
Of course, as a coal upon a hearth, and may she dry up and disappear as water in the desert. May she rise into the heavens as the wind in a storm, and may she become as small as a mustard seed, much smaller than the hip bone of an inchworm, even smaller than the foot bone of a centipede. And the foot bones connected to the ankle and the ankle written, and so small that she is nothing.
May her spirit be consumed, a coal upon her heart, and may she dry up, and disappear, rise into the wind. May she rise, ankle bone, mustard seed, May she become so small that she is nothing.
Nothing.
Rise into
Once and for all, Charles, what the hell does this mean? I'm not looking forward to spending an eternity alone with you, Elvira.
I might not have to, darling.
What do you mean?
I don't give up quite so easily.
I wish you'd stop fiddling about with those damned cards. It's getting on my nerves.
Be quiet, I'm concentrating. Ace of clubs. Ace of spades. This is where the real world fades. Ace of diamonds. Ace of hearts. This is where the magic starts. Hello? Hello? Is this immensely long distance? Yes. I'd like Camelot 77777, area code 777. Yes, is Mr. Merlin there? Yes, I'll hold on.
Elvira, you don't mean you actually got through?
Shh, be quiet. He's coming to the telephone. Merlin, darling. Is that you? Listen, love, I want your advice. It's about my husband. The one I told you about? No, that's just it. He's still alive. In fact, he's upstairs having a bath. What was that stuff Socrates took? Hemlock, that's it. Be an angel and magic me down a bottle of instant hemlock. He did it. Thanks, love. Ooh, get the brandy.
Brandy?
Good old Merlin, nothing like instant hemlock. But don't just stand there over the brandy bottle.
Elvira, I really must take the hat off to you.
Don't worry, love. I didn't lie yesterday. Look out.
My darling, is you still here? The clock strikes far too slowly. How fast?
It was a wedding present from my uncle.
Well, all I can say is that he might have chosen something a little more decorative.
If that really were all you could say, Ruth, I'm sure it would be a great comfort to us all.
I wish you two would stop bickering for 1 minute.
Now listen, Elvira. If you and I have got to stay together indefinitely in this house, we had better come to some have sort of an arrangement.
You're not going to stay indefinitely in this house.
With you, then, we shall have to stay with you.
Well, I don't see why. Why can't you both take a cottage somewhere?
You know that. However, as we all agree that as Ruth and I are dead, it would be best for us to dematerialize as soon as possible. But perhaps you don't want us to go quite enough.
Well, I certainly do.
You must have a very weak will, then. Always suspected it.
First it was my mother who ordered me about in a voice that sounded rather like a sergeant major shout. Then came good old Nanny, who radiated blue. Her one pleasure was to clown me till I spotted across the room. The girls at children's parties drank my tea and ate my cakes. Later on in their teens, they were tough as Marines and slippery as snakes. A few years later, I paid the ultimate price by getting married, not once, but twice.
I was wise, I was kind, I was neat.
I was charming, exciting, and sweet. I had all of the fun any man could desire.
What in the world did you want? I brewed coffee all night and all day, and I brought you your lunch on a tray.
When you woke from your nap, I was always on tap.
What in the world did you want? I sat still while you blandly misquoted every poem you thought you knew.
We were both of us over devoted, and we doubted on no one but you. I was honey and sugar and spice.
So was I, and what's more, I was nice.
We were good, you were bad, your conceit drove us mad. You're a cad that we're glad we can haunt.
What in the world?
What in the world? What in the world did you want?
You were always relentlessly right, domineering from morning till night. You were both far too short of your deafness alone.
What in the world did you want?
You were reckless and feckless and vain. You betrayed me again and again. You two darlings combined drove me out of my mind.
What in the world did you want?
When your ranting and roaring was boring, our behavior and things so mean, and we also put up with your snoring, which was louder than God Save the Queen.
I gave love that was tender and true, which was utterly wasted on you. You both treated all that like a vulgar new and you could over emphatically flaunt.
What in the
Not in this
world?
world,
What in the world?
nor next world. What in the world did you
Mr. Company. I want the silence to help you. I feel I have been dreadfully remiss over this whole affair. Not only remiss, but untidy.
I'm sorry I lost my temper, Madam Arcati.
Mine is the shame, mine is the blame. No. Are your two wives still here, visible and audible?
Plainly visible and extremely audible.
How disappointing for you.
Have you any suggestions?
We could try evergreen, or garlic, or cold spot. I'd really like to try. It's another seance. Put our shoulder to the wheel, make it a real rouser.
For the love of heaven, not another seance.
I might even be able to materialize a trumpet.
I don't care if she materializes a whole symphony orchestra.
She's doing her best.
Are the girls getting despondent?
I'm afraid they are.
Oh,
Rather.
don't be downhearted. We'll win through yet.
If we're not very careful, she'll materialize a hockey team.
Madam Arcati, I'm afraid that both my wives are equally convinced that I somehow or other called them back.
Well, love's a strong psychic force, Mr. Ponderby. you love call can encompass the universe.
I did not call them back, either consciously or unconsciously, and that is my final word on the subject.
Neither of them could have appeared unless there was someone, a psychic subject, someone who knew them both, who wished for them.
Well, it wasn't me.
Scotland had been barking up the wrong tree. Let me see. Who was in the house on the night of the first seance?
Well, there were the Bradmans, Ruth and me and yourself.
Yes, but neither the Bradmans nor Ruth ever knew your first wife, did they?
No.
Un momento, per favore. My crystal. I have looked into my crystal. At last the thing is cloudy again.
But I haven't got a white bandage.
She's too good, you know. She ought to be in the circus.
Please be quiet.
Be you behind the panel, above the stairs, beneath the eaves, waking or sleeping, answer me. Well, that ought to do it, or I'll Tinkerbell.
Do you want the gramophone on and the lights out or something?
It's near, it's very near.
Did you reach, sir?
Bandage! The white bandage!
Or somebody calling? I was asleep. I don't really know which it was.
Come here to me, child.
Oh,
Go on. Go on over to Madame Arcati. It's quite all right.
Whom you see in this room, child?
you, madam.
Go off.
Anna, master.
Anybody else?
Oh, no, madam.
Lying, they always do. Where are they now?
By the fireplace. And
Oh, she can see them. You mean to say that she can see them?
Probably not very clearly, but enough.
oh, let me go. I don't see nobody. You've done nothing. Let me go
Do
back
what
to
Madame
bed.
Arcati says he did.
If she's the cause of all this unpleasantness, I shall give her a week's notice tomorrow.
Look at me, Edith.
What's the matter with her? Is she fine?
This is my finger. Have you ever seen such a long finger? Backwards and forwards it goes. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
The mouse ran off the clock.
Be quiet.
Well, she's off all right.
Off?
She is a natural medium. Now, if you'd ask your two wives to stand close together, please.
Where?
Oh, anybody you like.
Well, Elvira, Ruth, stand over there.
Are you sorry for having been so mischievous with it?
Oh, yes, madam.
You know what you have to do now, don't you, Edith?
Yes, madam.
Oh, I believe it's going to work. Oh, Charles.
Shh.
Tell her to stop for a minute. There's something I want to say before I go.
You should have thought of that before.
Nice!
Daddy.
You should wake her up, hadn't you? She might bring them back again.
Wake up, child.
Where am I?
You can go back to bed now, Edith.
Well, I was in bed, sir. How did I get down here?
Well, I rang the bell and you answered it, didn't she, Madam Arcati? Now, off you go, Edith, off you go, and thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, sir. Whatever for? Oh, sir!
What on earth did she mean by that?
Lee, what a strain. I am ready to drop in my tracks.
I am deeply grateful to you, Madam Arcati. I don't know what arrangements you generally make, but I trust you will send in your account in due course.
Good heavens, Mr. Conamy, it was a pleasure.
Perhaps you and I can go to lunch one day soon.
When you come back, I should be delighted.
Come back.
This must be an unhappy house for you. There are more things in heaven and earth, Mr. Conamy. Just go. Pack your traps and go as soon as possible.